For the last few weeks, I've been blowing into a Bluetooth device which is connected to my iPhone in order to measure my metabolism. Now, there's a collection of words I never thought I'd put together. The Lumen is pitched as the first device to hack your metabolism. And I don't blame you if you're already skeptical, because the sort of stuff this claims to do was previously only available in very controlled professional conditions with loads of kit and people who really knew what they were doing. But this thing promises to make you more metabolically flexible and in turn help you lose weight, keep that weight off and gain better sleep. And you gain all of that just by blowing into this thing? Lumen are very kindly sponsoring this video. They sent me this one to review. That does not influence my opinion whatsoever. They've had no say in the content of this video. And the conclusion that I've drawn for this, well, it's interesting. So let's crack on. So what do you get with Lumen? Well, you get this little Lumen device, which is the Bluetooth thing that you blow into. You get a nice travel case, and you get a charging base station. And of course, you get the Lumen app. The device itself is very well made. It's fairly innocuous. You can take it with you anywhere, and it doesn't look particularly weird. It's Bluetooth, like I mentioned before, so it connects very simply to your Android phone or your iPhone. Now, although this is technically charged via USB-C, that USB-C cable does have to plug into a base station. That said, though, you get 14 days of battery life from this, so it's unlikely you'd have to carry that base station around with you. And inside this thing is a golden CO2 sensor, which you can see flashing away in there sometimes. That is tasked with measuring your metabolism when you blow into it. In terms of pricing, you can try the Lumen completely risk-free for 30 days, send it back if you're not happy. But if you do decide to continue, there are 3 tracks that you can take advantage of. The first one is the Metabolism Booster, which is the cheapest of the 3. It's 249 quid for 6 months, and then £25 per month thereafter. And that is apparently aimed at people who want to learn about their metabolism, lose weight and shift to fat burn. You then have the Advanced Fat Burn Track, which is a 12-month program. That's £299, which is a current sale price as I record this video, and that promises to give you enhanced metabolism. Then you have the Top Track, which is the Lumen VIP. That's currently available on a Black Friday deal for £349 for 12 months, and that gives you everything else that you get with the other 2 tracks, but also personalized support and direct access to Lumen's team of metabolic experts. And with all of those tracks, you get the Lumen device free of charge. But regardless of that, it's not cheap. That's one of the biggest questions about this Lumen device and the Lumen service. Can it replace your gym membership? Is it a worthy companion to your gym membership? What do you get for that money? Right, how does this thing work? It's actually pretty simple. You basically blow into it and it uses your breath to measure your metabolism. And the idea is that you do this at the start of the day, but also before you go to bed. Having said that, you can do it as many times during the day as you like. And if you go into the Lumen app, there's a bunch of recommended times. So before exercise, after exercise, before eating, after eating, that sort of thing. And obviously the more measurements you undertake, the more data Lumen has to work with. The process is really straightforward. You're completely guided by your iPhone while you're doing it. You basically take the cap off, inhale, hold your breath for 10 seconds, and then exhale. And the way this thing measures your metabolism is that it measures the amount of CO2 in your breath. And if the CO2 level is high, you're burning carbs, and if it's low, you're burning fat. The app then gives you a Lumen level score, which ranges from 1 to 5, and that tells you whether your body is currently burning carbs or burning fat, or a mixture of both. So if you score a 1, your body is currently burning fat for energy, and if you hit a 5, you're burning carbs for energy. The Lumen app also connects to Apple Health if you're using an iPhone, which means any runs or other activities that you undertake in Apple Health or with your Apple Watch are picked up by Lumen, and then all that stuff is kind of built into the daily goals that it sets you. You can even add your food intake into this, so it's got a complete food tracker in there, which is actually quite impressive. And what Lumen does, it takes all of that data, all of the data from this thing, from Apple Health, from your sleep cycle, and it builds it into a list of recommendations about what you should do for that day. And that will range from what you should eat to the activities you should be undertaking and the sort of things that you should avoid, like bright screens at night. That's where all that daily goal setting and guidance comes in, and providing you follow it, in theory, you should meet your health and weight goals. Now, to give you an idea of my first-hand experience with the Lumen device and the Lumen app, I decided to document my first 3 weeks with it. So here you go. So I've got the app ready, the Lumen is all charged, and the app is now saying to me, let's check in on your body this morning. So take a seat and relax. I'm doing that. Turn on your Lumen, little button on the front there. Right, so you take the cap off. Then what you do, you inhale through the Lumen, and there's a little ball on the screen that you have to get into the circle. So here we go. It's analysing my data. So apparently at the moment I'm burning both carbs and fat, and it measures your fat and carb usage on a scale of 1 to 5, and on this screen we can see descriptions really of what those levels mean. So I'm a number 3 at the minute, which means I'm already burning some fat in the mornings, and if I follow my nutrition plan I can shift my body to burn even more. And it does a check-in, so it's asking how many carbs I ate yesterday. I had quite a lot of carbs actually. I'd say probably high carb. What time did you stop eating yesterday? It was night. It was between 10 and midnight. Then it generates your goals for the day. So here we go. Each day will give you 3 recommendations to help you improve your metabolic health. Let's go for it. Do 10 crunches after your morning measurement. Really? Today's a rest day. In fact, today is a rest day. I'm not going to do that today because I've done a lot of gym work recently. Wind down for bed by avoiding bright lights. Yeah, I'll do that, 100%. So you can see here that I did the test yesterday after the demo run with this, and I've got a 3 on both days. I still don't really know what that means. I know that I need a few more days basically to get a proper round of testing in. So this Lumen thing has actually got me thinking about stuff already. I need to get an early night tonight. I do feel a bit under the weather today, and I've got that thing in my head about not looking at bright screens and stuff like this told me this morning. Oh, it's gone up. So this morning I was a 3, which was more towards it was midway between fat usage and carb usage. I've now gone up to a 4, basically means that I've been burning mostly carbs for energy. Right, day 3 of my Lumen journey. I feel a bit better today actually. I managed to get quite a good night's sleep. I avoided screen time, did all that stuff beforehand, which is what it recommended. And number 4 still. So eating more carbs than your body needs blocks fat burn. Yeah, so I've eaten more carbs than I needed to. I've got to use those reserves up. And that means I won't lose weight or maintain my current weight. You do have to really think about this stuff. The way it's presented is great. It's very simple. It's based on numbers, a sliding scale. The explanations are pretty simple. Okay, go crush it. Your body is good at burning carbs. Now, let's get it to fat burn more. Right, it's gym time. So I'm going to do a measurement now before some exercise. I'm now a 3, so you're burning both carbs and fat. The morning goal apparently is to be burning mostly fat for energy. I haven't been doing that. I've been burning both fats and carbs pretty much equally. I'll check in again in a few days' time, because by that point I'll have more data, I'll have been using this a bit more, I'll have got more used to the app, and we'll see where we are then. Anyway, time to stretch my legs. I went for a run about half an hour ago, had a rest afterwards as you're supposed to, did the Lumen measurement thing, and I'm now a number 1 on the scale. And that tells me that I'm burning mainly fat. And it's recognised that it's after a 27-minute outdoor running session, because it's picked that up from Apple Fitness. And it goes on to say that with your carb stores depleted, you're experiencing some serious fat burn. That's reassuring. And I guess, do I now need to eat some carbs? Oh, it's a low carb day today, so maybe not. I'll see how I get on with that. I carried on using it after that period, and the first thing to say is that Lumen isn't a chore. It never feels like something that you have to do and you get fed up with doing. But I think part of the reason for that from my perspective is that I'm quite a simple guy when it comes to the way that I measure my fitness and my health. That's partly why I've always struggled with the idea of logging food. It feels like a bit of a faff. Having said that, I know several people who do it and they love doing it and they benefit from it. Since I've started using Lumen, I've not really modified a lot of my behaviour because it's kind of just confirmed that I'm doing the right things with exercise. The thing it has taught me is that I need to go to bed earlier, stop using screens at night, and cut back on some of the bad carbs that I inevitably eat every week. But it has been quite comforting to know that most of the time I'm burning fat at the right time. And again, that also explains why I've managed to lose weight in the past and maintain my current weight. This all leads me on to an inevitable conclusion about Lumen. It's not for me. The only thing I'd say is that you need to get into the food logging, you need to enjoy doing that part of it, or at least have the impetus to do that sort of thing. I haven't, and that's the problem. But I think this is also for the sort of person who is struggling to lose weight, or has lost weight in the past, but then has always put it back on and can't quite work out why. I think Lumen would give you the insight you need and the actionable guidance that you perhaps have missed in the past to work out what to do. So I have enjoyed enjoyed my experience with Lumen. It's been very enlightening, very interesting, but it's not personally for me. But if you do want to gain that data that will help you lose weight, maintain the weight loss, get better sleep, and you've got perhaps a gym membership that you're not really using very often, then this might be a better investment. So thanks again to Lumen for sponsoring this video. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can go and check it out for yourselves. And sticking with the fitness theme, if you want to find out how I got on with the Apple Watch Ultra during a 10-mile hike in the Peak District recently, keep watching for a link to that video.